Should recreational marijuana be on the November ballot? That legal question is now before the Florida Supreme Court. It could rule very soon, and because of that, CBS News Miami's Chelsea Jones spent time digging into the financial impact medical marijuana currently has on the state. Here's some of what she found out and what voters think about the possibility of a law opening up the door to the drug's use.
When you look at this, you see weed. When Stephen Vancour does, he sees medicine.
In her final days, when she was in extreme pain and having extreme spasms from tumors throughout her midsection, the cannabis allowed her to calm down, to get a little bit of numbness in there, to allow the opioids that she was prescribed to take effect.
His former partner had cancer. Medicinal marijuana, he says, made her last days bearable. I sat with him at the True Leave in Miami Beach. The company supports the Safe Smart Florida initiative, pushing for recreational use of marijuana in the state. The Florida Supreme Court has until April to decide if it will be put on the November ballot. If it is put on the ballot and it passes, it would allow those 21 and up to possess and use marijuana legally. Naturally, though, not everyone is certain they want a law like that passed.
I'm somewhere in the middle now.
I think medically, yeah, absolutely.
But recreationally?
Recreationally, I'm kind of on the fence.
So you would advise Florida not to do it?
Absolutely not.
Then you have those who think it should be legal.
Well, I think like anything, it can be helpful used in the right way, and it can also be harmful used in the wrong way. So there has to be some regulation, but I don't feel it should be illegal.
And then there are those who say they need it.
You know, it helps me cope with a lot of things like anxiety, stress. Like sometimes I have trouble sleeping and eating. It also helps with that.
That's what Dr. Jay Ellenby says he sees and prescribes often.
By far, the two most prevalent conditions are number one, chronic pain, and number two, stress, anxiety with associated problems with sleep, depression, focus, concentration.
BDSA is a cannabis data company that tracks the revenue of licensed dispensaries. Just this year, medical marijuana sales in Florida is over $2.8 billion. If the recreational use law clears the Supreme Court and 60% of voters in November, the company projects recreational sales alone will be over $870 million. This 2023 report from the state shows it makes no sales tax money off of medical marijuana. But if recreational use becomes legal, the state stands to make over $195 million a year in state and local tax revenues. But it also makes clear it's unknown how the state would allocate that money. What is clear, as Stephen Vancour explains, this new market would have to be regulated.
You see people lacing cannabis with meth, with ketamine, with fentanyl, and people are dying from these things. When you go to an adult use market, it's going to be a regulated market. And in every state that does this, every product is third-party lab tested for purity and safety.
Then you'd be able to buy it at a facility, kind of like this. There's a wide array of products here, but before they make it all the way here to Miami Beach, the actual marijuana is grown in a facility just north of here, somewhere in Florida. The state crunched the numbers of what it would cost to create and maintain a structure for recreational marijuana use in the state. It found annually it would cost $11.4 million to regulate it and roughly $9 million for initial costs. If passed, Vancour says the marijuana will be safe.
And it can be used safely, especially when it's regulated.
It is important to note while the state does not collect tax on medical marijuana, it does collect licensing fees. The original $60,000 fee for a 2-year license is expected to go up to $1.3 million. And I want you to take a look at how the numbers break down at that $60,000 price tag. The CBS News data team did some digging and found licenses have increased every year since 2022, with earnings rising from nearly $12 million then to an estimated $18.5 million to be made this year in 2024. So where is that money going? We're working to find out, and we will keep you updated. In the studio, I'm Chelsea Jones, CBS News, Miami.